It has been reported that the Texas Longhorns have finally named a starting quarterback. And that starting quarterback is Hudson Card. And that comes just a few days after the Texas A&M Aggies have named their starting quarterback. So both of Texas' flagship football programs have named starting quarterbacks this week. And so today I want to talk about Hudson Card and kind of what you can expect from Hudson Card as the starting quarterback from the Texas Longhorns. Let's look at his attributes and kind of what he brings to the table. And he's someone that we've talked about before as we've covered the quarterback competition going on in Austin. We've talked about Thompson and talked about Hudson Card. We've done some video breakdowns. And while we don't have a ton of videos of Card, we have some spring game clips, which we've talked about in the past. But today I want to spend some time talking about some high school clips, or not talking, just looking at a few clips so you can see what he brings to the table. And again, it's high school clips, so take it with a grain of salt, but does a good job just demonstrating his potential and his tool set that I think will be able to be used in Coach Sark's offense. But before we dive into the film, and before we dive into more of the content of the video, I just want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the YouTube channel if you like any quarterback-related content. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So let's look at Horns 24/7, because I believe they're the ones that first reported it. And let's look at a few quotes from what they've said as they've been covering this quarterback competition for the past, 6 months now, essentially. So I believe, according to 247, I'll link the article in the description below. This in what Steve Sarkisian, this is from 247, the article. The article goes, in what Steve Sarkisian has called the toughest decision on a starting quarterback he's had to make, redshirt freshman Hudson Card has edged out redshirt junior Casey Thompson to become the Texans starting quarterback. The article says that he informed both quarterbacks after walkthrough practice on Friday night, and he still indicated that both quarterbacks would play in the opener, but that Hudson Card would stop the opener. So this has been one of the most intriguing quarterback battles in all of college football with camp, in my opinion. Let's keep on going down with the article, as both guys were getting reps with the ones throughout camp. And then it goes on. According to the article, it says a turning point seemed to be the first scrimmage of fall camp on August 14th. That's when Coach Sark expressed disappointment in play of both quarterbacks. If y'all watched the channel before, y'all have kind of seen us report that and kind of update the first scrimmage and the second scrimmage. Because the second scrimmage, and let's get back to the article. I know I'm all over the place, but the second scrimmage, both guys played a lot better. Both quarterbacks had several touchdowns and neither turned the ball over. And this week, as game planning for Louisiana began, again, we're back to the article, as game planning for Louisiana began, Card continued to get most of the meaningful reps with the offense with 11-11 periods, while Thompson's team with the first team offense usually came in situational drills, such as when the quarterbacks were handing off to the running backs and goal line. Long story short, very, very tough call. And at the very end of the article, it says, Sark said the decision would probably come to a gut feel. That kind of seems what has happened. So I'll link the article below if you want the full article. Let's talk about Hudson Card for a second, because I think he's one of the more underrated high quarterback recruits that I can remember. He's a 2020 guy, and he was the 4th-ranked quarterback out of that whole 2020 quarterback class. There were only 3 guys ranked ahead of him. Let's pull up that list. Bryce Young, the starter for Alabama. DJU, again, I can't pronounce the last name, I don't want to butcher it, the starter for Clemson, and CJ Stroud, who's been named the starter for Ohio State. Hudson Card was number 4, and so Hudson Card was right behind those guys, Hudson Card being a very high 4-star, .97, CJ Stroud barely ahead of him, DJU and Bryce Young with a 5-star. So again, he was a very high 4-star recruit, arguably a 5-star, depending if those guys weren't those classes. He could have been a 5-star. So I think Texas has a very high ceiling with Hudson Card, and he's someone we've talked about on the channel again before. So just to give a brief background about Hudson Card, he's going to be I don't know if he's going to be considered a redshirt freshman. That's what I think he'll be considered this year. And so when we watch this clip, I want to watch kind of what he brings to the table, because he's a very athletic quarterback. I don't think he gets enough credit for being an athletic quarterback. Now, why Sark doesn't use the quarterback run often is offense. Still, having a guy that can move around and having a guy that can take defense by surprise is always an advantage for the offense. And then Card can really sling the ball. Anyone that's watched this channel, anyone that's kept up with the competition knows he's got a very strong arm. So we're going to watch his accuracy downfield. And even though it's high school, still watch the ability to fit the ball into tight spaces, to throw his guy open. That's something we saw even in the spring game. I know a lot of people made a big deal of that slant route that was a touchdown, but he really threw his guy open. And so we see that in high school as well. We see several clips throwing guys open from out routes, middle of the field routes, and even downfield routes. So the things to watch in film and what he brings to the table as a quarterback is accuracy downfield, throwing his guys open, very strong arm, and he's a very athletic quarterback who can run when he needs to, even though he's Coach Sark will probably use his legs to help with the passing game overall. So let's go ahead and look at some clips. Again, it's probably just like 6 or 7 clips we're going to watch of high school, so I don't want to spend too much time, but it's going to give a good idea of what he brings to the table, and then we'll kind of wrap this all around on the back side of the video. So these next 2 clips back to back are going to be good examples of him fitting the ball into tight space, into tight windows. So we're going to see both balls going to be completed over the middle of the field here, and there's going to be tight space. There's a seam route here, good coverage, but Hudson Card does a good job throwing his guy open. Good delivery down the middle of the field. That's a great ball to throw his guy open. And again, for those Texas fans that remember the spring game, he had a great slant route throwing his guy open. Same thing here. We're going to see a good ball down the middle of the field. Again, good coverage. Shows a good arm in the pocket. Able just to throw it where space is. Good job of Hudson Card. Throwing down the middle of the field. Putting some spin on the ball, some juice in the ball as well, but having enough touch to make it catchable. Good job throwing his guy open. Here's another great example of Card just throwing his guy open. We'll see a corner route here. We'll watch it twice. Again, it's a long throw as well. So let's break it down real quick. So good coverage, right? So he's got to throw a perfect ball, throw his guy open. He does that. Then look where he is on the field as well. Left hash of the field, 25-yard line, thrown all the way to the corner of the end zone. That's a long ball, and it's on a rope too to throw his guy open. Good ball, good arm strength, and good ability to throw his guy open. So I don't want to sound redundant here, but he's throwing his guy open as well. But this is the accuracy downfield that he possesses. It's a hell of a catch right now. Again, it's high school. I want to reiterate that. But it's the accuracy downfield to throw it where space is, to throw it into tight coverage. Throwing right here. Ball is out. Tight coverage right there. That's a college-type throw while he's in high school. So good ability to throw his guy open and to have accuracy downfield. And, of course, it's a hell of a catch. But the only reason that it's a hell of a catch is because the ball is perfect. So here's Hudson Card showing plenty athleticism, again, from high school clips. So, take with a grain of salt. He's not going to be able to do this to a bunch of, Big 12 defensive linemen, but still plenty of athleticism, some Johnny Manziel type football stuff there. Good example of his athleticism. I don't even remember if he scores here or not. Yes, he does. Let's look at that one more time for the simple fact. Oop, I'm sorry. Back a little bit more. Right here. Boom. Able to roll out and then eventually go in for a touchdown here. Again, shows some speed as well at the very end. So again, plenty of athleticism there. Good example, good clip here to show that. So here's another touchdown run by Hudson Card here. Again, I just wanted to show a few of these clips so people understand that, hey, Hudson Card can move. He's a good athlete. He's more than just an average athlete. He's more than just a guy who can scramble when he needs to. He's a really good athlete. He's got a good acceleration towards the end here to go there for a touchdown. But look at the lateral ability he has here. And again, it's high school, but still, one guy missed there. Another guy missed right here. Good quickness there. Another guy missed. Whoop. So I think he's going to be a threat running the ball as well, even though it's not going to fit the offense that much. I think whenever the scheme calls for it, he's definitely going to be able to do that and hurt defenses. So here's the last clip we'll watch of Card running the ball, but shows speed and ability to get in the outside and to break containment there. Again, I do think we're going to see Card run the ball more often than people probably think. Even though it won't be a center of the game plan, I still think we'll see it because he's so dangerous with it. So here's Card's ability to throw on the run and throw accurately on the run as well. So we've seen some running plays from him. We've seen his athleticism run the ball. Now the ability to throw on the run to right there. That's a good ball because it's actually pretty decent coverage too from being outside the pocket. Nothing there. Able to scramble, eyes downfield, squares up quickly, throws it over the defender here. Good accurate ball on the run. So again, just high school clips, and so I want to reiterate to take it with a grain of salt, but it does show his ability as a quarterback. It shows his tool set and his potential to have his potential that he does have as he develops at this college level. And again, we still don't know exactly what to expect as he's making his first college start, but I think if you go off his high school film and go off what you've heard and go off the ability that he has, I think you can expect similar stuff from high school at the college level and continue to develop under Sark. But I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts over this quarterback move? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this is a good move? How do you agree with it? In my opinion, Coach Sark knows a hell of a lot more than I can even dream about knowing as a quarterback. And, we don't know. We haven't seen the practices. We don't know behind the scenes. And so I think if you're a Texas fan, you trust Coach Sark because he's done it before and he'll continue to develop good quarterbacks. That's just my opinion. And so I think it's probably a good move if Coach Sark says it's a good move. But let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts? I know you're excited for the season. It's about to be starting in about a week from today. We'll get rocking and rolling. So we'll see you next time on the next quarterback-related video.